Check ko pre. Okay yan, kasi kaano siya. Check ko sa science.ph. Hindi na, di ba?
So makita lang doon nila sa director ng region. Sir Paul.
Okay pa rin. Okay pa rin. YouTube ko pala yung sana lang.
Pwede may mag-question siguro sa site na ulit. Pwede rin lang.
Saan yun? Dapat pala may notepad tayo. Ha? Ito ba yan?
Walang subtitle. 6 to 9. Lagay mo oras na din. Anin? Refresh mo yun. 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 Saan yung name ng wifi niyo? Pwede mo i-connect, may pinapatapos lang si Director.
Sa kanya.
Ay, sa kanya na kayo na.
Naka-hotspot lang ako. Digo.
Good morning, and welcome to the press conference for the National Science and Technology Week celebration here in Mindanao. We are all very excited because, in a way, we are making history of sorts. It's the first time that the National Science and Technology Week opens outside of Manila, and it happens here in Davao City. Right? Wala ba palakpak dyan? And I just saw the energy that was unleashed here as people came in and got introduced to each other. Wow, I thought this was powerful, right? But you see, we are challenged also because we can only remember so many faces and match them with so many names. So let's get to know each other. And I hope if I miss out on somebody, you will give me the proper names and designations as we move along. So we're really very happy that we are joined today by the Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, Secretary Fortunato P. de la Peña, the man behind Science for the People, and the great strategist. It was his idea to do it here first in Davao so the President could join us, and that is going to happen today. And we're very happy that we're also joined at the head table by the regional directors of DOST in Mindanao. So today the focus really is on the island of Mindanao, land of promise no more. Kasi mahirap yung land of promise, but I promise lang. This should be a land of promises fulfilled. Diba? Okay, Ma'am Greg. So let's get to meet our regional directors for Mindanao.
Start from there.
All right. We have with us the ARMM Regional Secretary for Science and Technology, Myra Mangkabung. For Caraga, Director Dominga Inday Malyonga. We also have with us Director Zinaida Haji Rauf Laidan. Of course, your very own from Davao City, Director Anthony Sales. All the way from Cagayan de Oro, Director Alfonso Alamban. And also all the way from Zamboanga, Director Martin Wee. And this is where the challenge comes in because I have names here, but I've met them for the first time. And really, it takes some kind of artificial intelligence to match faces and names. So if I miss something, isipin nyo na lang artificial lang yun. So we have Balik Scientists. This is a big program of DOST and it's making a difference in our regions, especially in those localities and universities where these Balik Scientists are now engaged and working and sharing, all right, and enabling a culture of science and technology. Let's get to meet them. Dr. Arnullo Guban. Arnold. Dr. Ellie Christopher Inobio. Dr. Hernando Bacosa. Dr. Louis Mar Ganguangco. Dr. Gerard Domangas. Dr. Arnold Alguno. And Dr. Joel Saludes. Meron pa bang Balik Scientist? All right. So, of course, we also have with us other officials from the Department of Science and Technology. Let's get to meet Director Edgar Garcia of CAPI, Administrator Vic Malana of Pagasa, Dr. Ray Ebora of Picard, June Dalida, Deputy Administrator of Pagasa. We have Ningning Samarita, Executive Director of the National Academy of Science and Technology. We have Director Nancy Randog of CAR. All right. Sino pa? Let me start. Of course, Undersecretary for Disaster Risk Reduction and Climate Change Adaptation, Dr. Rene Solidum. All right. Siya po yung ating fault finder. And two other undersecretaries. Ayaw nila kasi umupo sa head table eh. Of course, Undersecretary Brenda Nazareth for Regional Manzano. I stand corrected. For Regional Operations, all right? And so she was very much into the preparations for all of these things. Grabe. You know, because this was like a late idea, but we are not late. Yes. And also with us is the Undersecretary for Science and Technology Services, Dr. Harold Yorobe, right? Who, by the way, chose to celebrate her birthday yesterday here. Ano na talaga yan, ma'am? Life is, you only live once. You have to celebrate it. All right. So, from the media side, this morning, some of them came on the early flight. So we have from News Bites, Mr. Ed Guzman, Mr. Paul Ikamina from Malaya, Mr. Rainier Ronda from Philippine Star, over there, Meli Tenorio of Radio Pilipinas. We also have Henry Tasio. There. We have the ABS-CBN team. All right. Julia Santa Romana from News Bites is also here. All right. And I'm also very happy that we are joined by the anchor of DOST-TV. Yan po yung aming broadcast program. Jel Miranda is with us. So you should get familiar with that face because she anchors our program every day, Monday to Friday, 9:30 a.m. to 10 o'clock on PTV4, and then at 11 and 4 o'clock in the afternoon on GNN. Later this year, we hope to be also on GMA News and other platforms. This is our effort to promote science and technology in the country. So, anybody from the Ayan! All right, Philippine Information Office. PIA. Region 9 PIA. All right. Meron pa? From PIA Region 11. Ayan. Alright. We are now, we're being live streamed now, so make your best smiles available. Right? PTV was earlier recognized. Yes.
Walang wifi. Hindi tayo allowed.
Good morning and welcome, Dr. Frank. All right, anybody else? All right, in case you missed it, my name is Richard Burgos, and I'm the director of the Science and Technology Information Institute of the Department of Science and Technology. So, let's give vent to our excitement and let's hear it straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak, because really this event here in Davao would not have happened without his push and initial idea. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it from the Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, Secretary Fortunato Boy de la Peña.
Magandang umaga sa kanilang lahat. Actually, yung idea na unahin namin ang celebration sa Mindanao, Davao, ay naisip ko nung natin kami sa Boao, China, when the President was one of the speakers. I think there were 8 heads of countries who delivered their speeches in Boao, China, last, early April. Okay, and I thought after hearing the president, there were two important messages that I got from the president. First, he said that innovation is important for collective prosperity, citing the experience of China, who after 4 decades has transformed itself, into a leader economy-wise particularly. And he therefore mentioned that it is one of his priorities is innovation for collective prosperity. Then he also mentioned that the administration's 3 key strategies are infrastructure, interconnectivity, and innovation. So he mentioned innovation again. So it's easy to remember 3 I's: infrastructure, interconnectivity, and innovation. So I talked to Special Assistant to President Bongo of the possibility of holding it first in Mindanao, mainly because from what I have observed, the President's schedule in Manila is always very hectic. And so I broached the idea. I even mentioned it to Mayor Sara Duterte, who was with us, and they were supportive of the idea. And therefore, all we had to do was to find out where and when a place like this will be available. So we learned that the only time available before July 17 was July 6 to 8. And so we informed the Office of the President about it. And we said we will open on July 6 and on July 8, but the President can choose any time and date. So we were informed that it will, at that time, that it will be July 7th, a Saturday in the afternoon. So we planned for that. Anyway, it's easy to make adjustments in the program at that particular time. But last week, we were informed that the president chose to come on July 6th, and it will be this afternoon, although quite late. You know, we will have the program with the president at 6 p.m. So knowing that he has really a very busy schedule, I think that is really a very generous accommodation on his part to be here. And so we were very happy that we are able to bring him here and show him what has been accomplished, particularly in the Mindanao regions, both in terms of the research and development that has been taking place here, in terms of the productivity efforts through science and technology interventions, particularly to our small and medium enterprises, to the human resource development effort that we have, and including, of course, our participation in rehabilitating Marawi after the war. And that will be actually part of what we will mention this afternoon. Also, of course, the extent uh, as to how our human resource development efforts, scholarships in particular, are helping the regions. Now, we have, of course, a special feature uh, that we want to show to the president. He signed the Balik Scientist Act on June 15, 2018. As most of you know, this program has been going on for quite a long time, but just as a DOST program, there is no legal, shall we say, act or basis for it, but it has been started actually 40 years ago with a few balik scientists, and it has remained few because of maybe many bureaucratic processes that they had to go through, and also some limitations in terms of the incentives, in terms of the hostings that we have. And in fact, up to this year, we are only expecting 40 balik scientists coming this year. So we are still at the middle of the year, and we hope that we will reach the target. But with the signing of the Balik Scientist Law, we are expecting a significant increase in the number who will be coming over. I have set a target of increasing by 50% every year, at least for the next 3 years. Now, we have, of course, a few key strategic initiatives that are supportive of the president's, shall we say, vision. And of course, one of the first things that he always says is that he wants to reduce inequality in our country. And well, of course, that's the reason why he is often mentioned, described as pro-poor. But even in science and technology, there is inequality. If you look at the institutions who have been receiving research assistance from the Department of Science and Technology, out of almost 2,000 degree granting institutions in the country, both private and public, less than 100, in fact, only 83 have so far availed of our research and development grants. And we really want to correct that. And this is the reason why we are identifying what we call niche centers in the regions, because this is the way by which we can expand our R&D manpower pool and institutions pool. And we believe that having the researchers come from the regions will ensure that they will address the pressing concerns in the regions, and also the opportunities and potentials that are available there. So today we have already identified a number, although they are very, very focused on specific areas, even down to commodities. So we have a citrus research center in Nueva Vizcaya, a research center for freshwater eel in Isabela State University, a center for mollusk or for crustaceans research in Samar State University, very Center for Biodiversity Research at the Cebu Technological University, and so on. But this is really, I think, the way we have stressed to them that we have already identified a research center for crustaceans. That will be the only one that we will support, at least significantly. And then we thought of deploying experienced research leaders or researchers who can assist our research centers in the universities and other agencies, particularly in the regions, so that they can plan well their research programs, they can design well their research facilities, and to a certain extent help in the human resource development aspect. So we have a program called RD Lead, which will deploy these experienced researchers. Many of them probably are retired. Some of them are national scientists. Some of them are public scientists who are willing to be detailed in some of the centers. And in addition, we have made it an objective to connect the universities doing research to the industries who are interested to do research. We know that industry needs and wants research to solve problems and to come up with innovations. The academe, for example, also wants to do research, but sometimes the objective is different: to publish, come up with IPs, intellectual property, etc. So we just want these to be connected. Maybe if not in all cases, we at least we can show that the university and industry can collaborate in doing R&D, and we have already succeeded in identifying some of these. Okay. Uh, in fact, some of the research scientists here, basic scientists, are involved in these partnerships in different areas, from agriculture and industry to health or drug discovery, etc. So we are also trying to address our small and medium enterprises after covering their needs for hardware, software, so that they can upgrade in terms of quality, productivity, and capacity. We are now looking into how they will be globally competitive. So uh, we are embarking on what we call Set Up 2.0 because we really want to go a step higher. Maybe later on we will find out what this means. But what I remember is that we will also help the sector as a whole, not only the specific firms, in becoming competitive, and we will try to get them recognized through international accreditation, like our SME is getting ISO accreditation already. And so these are our initiatives that we hope the president will be more updated when he goes around. Of course, the president chose to, during the exhibits, specify that he will, before going to the States, go to the exhibits on disaster risk reduction. So, brace up Yusek Solidum, Director Malano, for this visit of the president. And finally, I just would like to mention that our human resource development program is in full gear. After we had a 2 year lull because there were no grade 12 graduates yet for 2 years, so we had no freshman scholars. For 2 years, we have admitted this year, of course, the first batch of grade 12 freshman scholars, 9,000 of them, compared to the 5,000 during our last batch in 2015. And we are proud to say that we have now covered 90% of all municipalities in terms of scholars. So we are challenged by 52 remaining municipalities who have no DOST scholars yet. Some of them have no high schools, by the way. And of course, in the graduate programs, it's still a continuing, shall we say, effort. It's not the number of slots that are are giving us a problem. It's trying to attract people to obtain graduate degrees in science and engineering. Surprisingly, even if there is a lot of incentives, it seems that not too many are yet convinced that a graduate degree in science or engineering is a good step towards career development. Many of them still prefer to take MBA after engineering or after the sciences. So these are the things that we have in the Philippine Science High School system. We are happy to announce that we have covered all regions already. Of course, there is one region which is still a challenge to us. This is ARM, because in the law it was stated that the 16 regions of the country will be having their campuses, and we have done that. Uh, we have still to work it out because ARM is autonomous in this respect. Okay, so name it, we have a campus. Okay, as far as Zamboanga, we have now a campus in Tipolo, fully subscribed. Okay, surprisingly, just after opening, it is already fully subscribed. So thank you very much for coming, and it's really a pleasure to be here. And I'm particularly happy that we were joined by our balik scientists, the people who were introduced earlier. Tumayo na nga po kayo at para makita naman nila ang ating mga balik scientists serving the different universities, University of San Agustin, University of the Philippines Manila, University of the Philippines Visayas, and MSU Iligan, MSU Awan, and MSU Marawi. Thank you very much.
So you exemplify truly what science for the people means, right? And thank you for also linking us to Wow, where this thing originated. So we hope in Mindanao we can prove that it has come from Boao to, oh wow, pag makita niyo yung exhibits dito sa Mindanao, mamaya. Right? We still have two more media friends that I'd like to recognize. From Mindan News, let's welcome Mr. Antonio Colina. Awesome, Mr. Antonio. There. We have also Mr. Manuel Cayon of Business Mirror Mindanao. Over there. All right. So the next portion of our program this morning is the question and answer portion. And opposite that portion, my name is there. I'm afraid that you expect me to provide the questions as well as the answers. MC lang po ako. Right? And so, if you would like to raise a question for the sake of our cameramen, please proceed and use the microphones over to this side of the room. Right? And if you want to direct your question to anybody on our head table, please say so. All right? So thank you very much. The floor is now open for questions. Yes. Pwede na rin pong pumila. So our queuing is faster and easier.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Eric Tenorio of Radio Pilipinas. Gusto ko lang pong tanungin lahat ng mga balik scientists
Alright.
kung ano ang kanilang special field at na tutulong dito sa rehabilitation ng Marawi. Thank you.
Marawi in particular. So shall we start from this side of the room? Introduce yourself and then where you're working now and what particular initiatives you may be engaged in.
Hindi lahat nakatutok sa Marawi. But if you want to hear each of them, maybe it will be good to hear what they are doing.
Okay, good morning po. Jonel Saludes from University of San Agustin in Iloilo City. I came from Washington State University in the US and came home as a long-term balik scientist in 2015. I have a 3-year stint for the OST as a balik scientist. I am on my 3rd year, helping develop the research program of University of San Agustin in Iloilo City, and it's focused on the discovery of new antibiotics to combat multi-drug resistant bacteria. One example of which is what we call as this flesh-eating bacteria, to help discover new drugs for advancing healthcare in the Philippines. Specifically, we are working on marine drug discovery because we are an archipelago and we focus on utilizing these resources to um, develop new antibiotics funded by the Department of Science and Technology under the Douglas Lunas Development Center, as well as by the National Research Council of the Philippines under the Biodiversity Program. We are also working under the Cradle program of DOST, which was mentioned earlier on by the Secretary, which facilitates partnership between universities and industry. We are working closely in partnership with Del Monte Philippines Incorporated, our research partner, to promote the health benefits of pineapple. Specifically, we are now working on uh, developing pineapple as a functional food in which a what we call as an ordinary food that we know that provides nutritional benefit is transformed into a product that has um, benefits aside from providing nutrition. And specifically, we are looking into developing Del Monte products into something. I may leave it for now that way to lower cholesterol, which will benefit a lot of Filipinos because cardiovascular disease is one of the high mortality causes in the Philippines. Thank you very much.
Good morning po.
Yan
I'm
po ay
Dr.
doktor, hindi po high school graduate.
Louis Morgan Huangca po. I'm actually a medical doctor, University of the Philippines, College of Medicine, 2010. I came home po from I'm a research coordinator from the Hawaii Center for AIDS, affiliated with the University of Hawaii. Nandito po ako ngayon with Philippine General Hospital, UP Manila. A lot of people don't know that HIV actually could damage a lot of the organs of the body. Pag napabayaan po siya, it can actually lead to cardiovascular disease, metabolic diseases like diabetes and insulin resistance, but also some neurologic damage because it can cause some damage sa neurons natin. So we are actually establishing a research collaboration with the University of the Philippines. We have recruited 50 patients so far. We are looking into the neurologic complications of HIV primarily po. So we are also really hoping that maging platform po yung Balik Scientist ko to really emphasize the missing links in our HIV prevention. We are registering almost 1,000 people every month to be infected with HIV. 30 plus Filipinos every day getting HIV. 2 weeks ago, a close friend of me died from AIDS, and that's really sad. He's just 30, and he could have had 40 more productive years of his life, and that's unacceptable. I really think that we should bring the newer medications to the Philippines. Africa has done it. Dolutegravir, the integrase inhibitors, need to be in the Philippines. And the missing piece in our HIV prevention is PrEP or pre-exposure prophylaxis, and it needs to be a national policy. So this is my advocacy, and I'm very happy and thankful, of course, to the Department of Science and Technology for having me as a Balik Scientist. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Gerardo Mancas. I'm presently an assistant professor of chemistry at Louisiana State University in Alexandria. And I'm actually hosted by University of San Agustin under Dr. Saludes, and also the University of the Philippines, Iloilo, and as well as St. Paul University, Iloilo. I would say that being a Balik scientist is a lot of work, but it's really fulfilling. My areas of expertise are in molecular genetics as well as in chemometrics. So basically, what I do is I use statistics and computer applications in analytical chemistry to come up with predictive modeling. So I have several projects, and one of which is with under Dr. Saludes, where we're developing statistical models in order to predict whether a honey is authentic or not, which is really important, especially in the Philippine setting. And also, some of the projects were identifying novel by.
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Eli Christopher Inobio, and I finished my PhD in Tohoku University, Japan, and I did my postdoctoral fellowship in the same university in the laboratory of nanoelectronics and spintronics. And so I was a BSP, marine scientist grantee last year for only 1 month, actually. So because I'm eager to come back to the Philippines. So now I'm a full-time professor in MSU so I'm very excited for this program of UST in helping the buckwheat of MSU. So we have new students from MSU actually who are scholars of the UST in MSU Iligan. So I'm very excited to have them, and hopefully we can teach them and train them for in the area of nanoelectronics. And my expertise in nanoelectronics, and while in Japan, we are working on new type of memory, computer memory, using magnets. Because now we're using electronics, we want to use a magnetic property of materials to be a memory device so that it can be low power. So it's actually very new technology. It's not been yet in the market. Maybe we can expect this in 5 to 10 years. So hopefully we could catch up with this research. We could do it here in Mindanao or in the Philippines, and of course it can really help us in the nanotechnology sector. Thank you very much.
Magandang umaga po. Maayong buntag sa tanan. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Hernando Bacosa po, born and raised in the province of Palawan and adopted son of Marawi City. So because I completed my BS Biology in MSU Marawi, and I'm really very attached to the place, and I have a wonderful 6 years there. And I worked with PTRI for 2 years after graduation in Villanueva, so I'm also a DOST employee for 2 years. Please welcome me to the club. And then I took up my master's in technology management from University of Science and Technology of the Philippines, where Director Alambang was one of my best mentor in managerial economics and macroeconomics. Thank you very much, sir. Then I went to Japan to took up environmental studies, especially environmental chemistry and microbiology. Then I moved to University of Texas at Austin for marine sciences, and I'm currently a research scientist at Texas A&M University in Galveston, very close to Houston. So I have a very broad interdisciplinary background from molecular genetics to environmental sciences. And regarding Marawi, so that's a very sensitive issue for me because I'm really, really very anchored to the place. And I was there a month ago, politician of Marawi, and if they seek my expertise, and I would be glad to be back. I don't know for a long term in the future. And I'm still thinking whether to go back to the US or stay in Mindanao and Palawan for good. Yeah, especially with so much because I've been away for 15 years, and I usually come back home for 2 weeks, and with my family for 1 week, and it's a very short encounter. Now that I really appreciate anong nangyari sa Marawi, I was there, anong nangyari sa Palawan with the problems that we have, it's really creates in me right a big impact to really do something for our country, and I hope I will stick to that plan and be here for a long time and forever. Maraming salamat po, and thank you for inviting us.
Good morning to everyone. I'm Arnold Luban, a full professor at the university at the Mindanao State University Iligan Institute of Technology presently. I was a balik scientist in 2014. I did a short-term, 3 months balik scientist program, and back then there's just I think 5 of us, a few for sure. So I came here. I decided to come here to go back home because of that an encouragement from my brother. He's now in the U.S. and he's also planning to do a balik scientist. This is for material science, physics. My field of expertise is in um, chemical processing. We do lignocellulosic processing to develop a material for insulation. So alam po natin na mainit sa Pilipinas, and what we do is we take these kind of like waste materials, agricultural waste biomass materials, and transform it, process it to become usable. So yun pong mga rice straw, pineapple leaves, we process it and extract the cellulose from it and process it to become polyurethane foams. So may dinadagdag po kaming mga chemicals doon. Usually kasi these polyurethane materials came from petroleum. So we do away with petroleum and use biomass, agricultural biomass instead. So that's what we do. And I really thank DOST for we've got this grant, 43 million grant, and we're opening our polymer biomass lab at MSU next week. So thank you, sir, for that grant, and we hope to really develop materials not only for insulation but also anti-corrosive coatings and bioenergy research as well. So that's my research, and because of the Balik Scientist program, I also decided to stay at MSUI. Thank you very much.
Sa cellphone.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Arnold Alguno, a former GSPS Research Fellow of Tohoku University, Japan. Back then, in 2009, I was a short balik scientist. In 2009, MSUI IT Department of Physics was full of getting more PhD in physics. That's why I decided to stay in MSUI IT to be one of the professors in the Department of Physics. Uh, I was able to reject the offer of Tohoku University as an associate professor because I wanted to help Mindanao. So by then, because of the belief scientists of DOST, they provided me a platform to develop also the human resource development of Mindanao. Because I had mentored several MS degree in physics and material science, and of course, PhD degree in physics, all coming from Mindanao. Right now, we're doing with Dr. Lugduban the so-called polyurethane and polymeric processing coming from biomass in order to produce polyurethane foam and anti-corrosion coatings. Because anti-corrosion coatings is very important because we are surrounded by salt waters, and corrosion is very destructive, not only to our industrial plants but also to our household equipment. So by then, if this research funded by the Department of Science and Technology, a very generous funding by the DOST, perhaps it would be a good platform also to replace the current anti-corrosion coating coming from petroleum products. So